Hey doctor, welcome again.
Hello, how are you?
So our first podcast got us quite a bit of interaction with people asking us different kind of questions. But then this is not a question that people asked, but I think this is something that is relevant and requires answering.
Okay.
Now I've been observing how we eat, okay, and
Okay.
how much we eat.
Okay.
This is not an Indian problem. This is a global problem. All right. Now, typically, we all have 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
All right. But then, the way we eat, when we eat breakfast, we are eating breakfast for the whole day. We are actually not breaking fast. All right. So, for example, today I was in a meeting and we had breakfast. So we had one set dosa, then we had pongal, and then we had vada, and then along with that for the set dosa we had sagu, and then for the pongal we had chutney, and then we had a plantain, a banana after that. Okay, this is kind of, I mean, like, you're killing yourself with food. You're eating food for the whole day, right? I mean, you've already consumed so much, and then you are not active. I mean, like, your locomotion, rather your mobility is all through vehicles. And then of course you are using your mind. Now it's lunchtime and again you are back with a bang, and then you kill another meal, and which is double of what you had for breakfast. So essentially again eating once for the day and eating second time for the day, and then finally there is dinner, and then we are sustaining ourselves till the next day, and all that we are doing is lying horizontal. Okay. So my question to you is, what really happens to our body when we eat like this? I mean, this is nothing short of gluttony. So whether it's vegetarian, non-vegetarian, doesn't matter. This also is gluttony. So what happens when we eat like this?
So what basically happens is that when you eat like this, you end up having indigestion. So you typically have to give at least 3 hours or 4 hours of time between a meal, so that the meal gets digested.
No, but when does the meal get digested? That's my fundamental question. Because I have been paranoid by this thing that when do we eat?
We eat in the morning.
We eat because it's morning.
Yeah.
But we are not eating because we are hungry.
Oh yeah, that is it.
Right. So how will it get digested?
It won't.
It won't get digested, right? So even if you give 4 hours time, if you are not hungry to eat, you are not digesting your food.
True.
Isn't it? So when you wake up in the morning, we have got energy because we have slept and we regenerate ourselves. But what is the first thing we do?
We eat.
We eat. So why are we eating when we already have all the energy that we need? The first thing we need to do is to actually work out.
Yeah, true.
Right? We have to expend that energy that we have, so that it can convert itself into muscle tone.
Yeah.
It can give us a good muscle tone. It can give us it can convert itself into protein, and then build our muscles. I mean, that's the essence of workout. And then you are hungry, and so you eat your breakfast.
Yeah.
So isn't that the right way of doing things?
Yeah, it is. So basically what Ayurveda says in Dinacharya is that first, when you wake up, the first thing that you do is to evacuate.
Correct.
Then brush your teeth, exercise, bath, and then the breakfast as such comes as a brunch there. It's not a breakfast, it's not a lunch. So you eat in Pitta Kala, so that your Pachaka Pitta digests the food.
Yeah, so when you are doing all that is wrong all through the day, now we have to coin this term called brunch. We have to kind of seem to make it right when actually that is the right thing to do.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, true. Because so Pachaka Pitta works best between 10 and 12. So in that time, if you have brunch, like around 11 per se, your body will digest the food that you eat, and it will give you the nutrient. I mean, it will easily separate the nutrient part, Ahara Rasa part, and the Kitta, the waste part.
Correct.
So there you give your body time to actually break the fast, to be frank.
Yeah, process the whole thing and then convert into nutrients, and then you start your work. and then the next time you are eating is probably at 4 in the afternoon.
Mostly 4 or 5, which is again it goes to
Just before-
Samana Vata, which is again related to digestion.
Yeah, so it is just before Vata Kala sets off.
Yes.
By 4:30, at that time you are hungry, and so you eat.
Yes.
So, and you
Yes.
don't eat during Vata Kala. I mean, this is typically how the Jains used to eat in the earlier days. But
Yeah,
now they say before sunset, and they made a hodgepodge of their own, of their diet
Yeah,
regimen as well.
still before sunset is like you will eat it before the Apana Vata Kala.
Yeah,
So you will eat it in Samana Vata Kala if you do that. Then again, because Samana Vata is responsible for digestion, it will again try to push Pitta there.
So Samana Vata Kala, as you are telling, is primarily between
4 and 5.
Between 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Technically, what I have been telling people is avoid eating between 4:30 and 6. The
Yeah.
reason why I say this is if you go near the rivers or the sea,
Okay.
you will see at that time the wind starts blowing.
Okay.
That is the time when Vayu sets in.
Okay.
So that is Apana Vayu Kala. That time you don't eat, and nothing will get digested. But before 4:30 if you eat, that is when you are hungry.
Yeah.
Provided you eat at 10:30. But this provided. Hunger is the most important reason why we must eat, and
Yeah,
not
true.
because food has been served. This is so important. I mean, like technically, all these podcasts need to be short, but this is a topic which cannot be so short because we cannot deliver hunger, digestion, evacuation in just under 3 minutes. It is not possible.
True. Understandable, actually.
Yeah. So what? How should now it is summer?
Yeah.
So now technically the way we eat, everything has to change because of how the environment is happening. So how should we eat and what should we eat?
Yeah, take porridge, liquid-based foods for you to reduce your pitta, and then go for fruit juices, but without adding sugar or ice cubes in it.
Don't mix food and fruit juice.
Yeah. True. Don't mix food and fruit juices. Don't have yogurt with fruits.
Right. But yogurt is pitta.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, like what we call as curds.
Yes.
Is pitta. Now, what can we have instead of having curds?
We can have it as buttermilk.
We can have it as a buttermilk. Now, today I have to ask my clients what is buttermilk. When they say can I have buttermilk? Then I have to ask them what is buttermilk. So, how do we prepare buttermilk?
So right now for Pitta Kala, it should be more watery. So what you should do is, if you have 1 part of curd, mix like 6 parts of water to it.
But we
And
also have to
then
remove the butter, right?
Yeah, we will have to remove.
We have to remove the butter. Only then you get buttermilk.
Yeah.
Because that is what is nourishing. That is what is
Yes.
cooling, right? That is what we have to have. So technically speaking, because it is summer, you have to have foods with a lot of water in it, gravy
Yes.
kind of foods.
Yes.
Do not have foods which are drying. So what are the foods that are drying? As far as I know, dosa is drying.
Dosa is drying.
Yes. What are the other
Mostly
foods that are drying?
fermented foods
Fermented
that
foods.
you take are
Avoid
drying.
them. Avoid fermented foods.
Yes.
So we have to have freshly prepared foods.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So freshly prepared food, one of the things is what we call as porridge.
Yes.
The other one is what we call, like Indian language, we call it as pongal.
Yeah,
and we
pongal
can
we
have
can.
dalia.
Yes.
This is what
Dal
we are,
khichdi.
Dal khichdi is what we are talking about.
Yes.
And what are the kind of vegetables that we need to avoid during this time? What can we consume? What can we avoid? Generically,
Avoid plantain.
avoid plantain.
Yes.
Okay. The big banana.
Yes.
Avoid the big banana.
Yes.
Yeah. What else?
Big banana. And then potatoes, if you can, that is.
Yeah. Avoid potatoes.
Because, yes.
Yeah. Avoid potatoes because
Avoid most of the root vegetables.
Avoid
because
most of the root vegetables.
causes dryness according to Ayurveda.
right. Even bitter gourd for that matter.
Yes.
It's also
yes.
vata pitta and brinjal for that matter.
But
So-
bitter gourd, actually, because it is bitter, it can also act in a way where it reduces pitta. But it depends on how you prepare it.
Exactly.
If you steam and eat with the bitterness, good. If you just fry it because it is bitter and then eat, sorry.
Okay. So we'll come back to all the bitter gourd and other vegetables with another podcast. But what is more important here is to have give a generic guideline to people on what they can eat. So primarily, as I understand from what you say, according to Ayurveda, during summer, these hot months, you must have foods that are gravy, that are liquidy, that are fresh, and that are light on the stomach.
Yes.
And during the day, have fruit juices which have no added sugar and no added ice cubes. And these fruits have to be seasonal. This is very, very important.
Oh yeah, that is very important.
Right? We don't want to have
Yes.
refrigerated, cold, freezed fruits. So, it's like having coconut water in winter, having watermelon in winter. So we want to have fresh, seasonal fruits. So I think
Yeah,
we have
even
to.
in that seasonal fruits, I have one thing to say, doctor.
Yes.
So, if you take mango will increase pitta.
Right.
So, mango is a seasonal fruit
Correct.
for that pitta kala. But
Right.
the point is, if you take it as fruit juice, it will increase pitta.
Right.
So, consume it in very lesser quantity.
Consume mango in lesser quantity.
Yes.
But mango is also a rakta shodhaka, which means also a blood purifier.
Yeah.
So, but then if you consume in more quantities, then you will have dysentery.
Yes.
Then you will have conjunctivitis and other eye problems also.
Yes.
So you must have. So anything that you have it in moderation. Don't overdo anything.
Yes.
Okay. Can we have coconut water during this time?
Yeah, you can have
So,
coconut
but
water,
when
but
to have
again,
it? When to have it?
between 10 and 2,
Between 10 and
which
2.
is pitta kala.
Again, pitta kala is when you have coconut water.
Yes, because
So
it
if
will
you are
break
having
the-
your lunch by about 10:30, then by 2 o'clock we can have
We
our
can have,
coconut
yes.
water. Provided we chew our food and eat according to our hunger. So this is viewers. So listeners, this is something that we keep talking over and over and again. You need to be hungry to eat. This is fundamental. Nothing beats this. So don't just eat and then have coconut water. You're going to have indigestion. So you're going to have bloating. You're going to have burping. So you need to be hungry. This is what Dr. Vedavalli also keeps talking to us all the time. So it's important for us to be hungry to eat our food. Thank you, doctor. So I think this is kind of a starter for people during summer, what they have to consume. We'll come back with more information about specific diets, specific recipes that you can consume during Pitta. I hope we can do a good job. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Dr. Vedavalli, for being on this podcast once again. It's been a pleasure having you and interacting with you. Good.